So in the background, we did make a change in terms of what we're listening to. I have moved from, just as a reminder for those who are joining me and catching me here middle of this series, this is my Doomsgiving pumpkin pie disaster attempt. Just a very short sort of Doom-focused series. But we were previously in slices 1 through 4 listening to Mare Infinitum with their Alien Monolith God was the title of the CD or album we were listening to on Solitude Productions in 2015. Kind of some funeral or atmospheric doom. What you can hear now in the background, which I will turn up here a little bit, is Britton Wrights, Kentucky's own Britton Wrights with For Mirkala on Echoes of Crom Records. This is Phil Swanson of a bunch of different projects like Hour of 13, Summerlands, I think was on the first Atlantean Codex, I think an EP or demo, believe it or not, but he's been on a whole bunch of American Doom projects. Howie Bentley of Cauldron Born fame and Corbin King. But this came out on Echoes of Crom Records in 2010. And that'll be going in the background here. So, the record we're going to talk about next is Loss with Horizonless, 2017, Profound Lore Records. With this gorgeous album artwork. I mean, that's, I believe Adam Burke is the artist who's done this, and he's got his hands in a bunch of different album covers. Excuse me, but anyway, so this is a funeral doom record that is a bit more on the aggressive side, you could say. So funeral doom, death metal, doom, death. But what makes this record great is the vocal variety and almost black metal understanding of how to organize a record, you could say. I mean, I almost have the same reaction to this record, while not as transparent or dramatic in effect, but when you listen to like something like Eternus Beyond the Wandering Moon, they have these very well defined sort of like interlude passages that break up a lot of the tracks. And for a lot of people that proves to be a distraction, I think it really drives home kind of like their dark metal or black metal aesthetic. And the reason I bring that sort of distinct feature up is this record, you get like the variety of vocal techniques, right? So there's if you were to tier them or place them on a scale, right? You have like on the really low, down in the terrible sorts of guts of things, funeral doom. Then you have a little bit of a higher sort of death metal. They have like the first time I heard of that kind of like middle black metal, it's not quite a rasp, but it's at a higher register, that the first thing I thought when I heard that was like, what are black metal, like it doesn't sound at all like a black metal release in terms of the weight and the size and the pacing. It's not even like that Elysian Blaze record that I love, which is almost funeral doom in its pacing, but an atmosphere and sort of density of sound. It's far more, there's more breath to it, meaning like it's not dense, or there's not like a concrete weight that you would associate with Funeral Doom that is just absolutely suffocating. Like that Elysian Blaze is like a Funeral Doom and black metal, but it's like someone has just thrown fog across the horizon. It's not like you are suffering under the weight of anything. So the reason I want to make that distinction is like, it's just the vocal approach that brings in a little bit of black metal here. And then to even elevate that sonic quality, there's almost like these whispered, like hoarse, whispered, really coarse, like someone's sitting at the back of the room in the shadows, you know, casting a spell, kind of interlude vocals. Which for me, like, you think about a lot of sort of the lower end, like lo-fi, creepy, vampiric, sort of whatever trope you want to pull from black metal. That kind of, at a few points on this record, that creeps in here. So, I mean, if you pull this out, like just the artwork enough would be really interesting, and you'd want to make you listen to the record. But outside, like, I'm really excited for what this band does next. I mean, we're going on 4 years since their last release, but they're out of Nashville, Tennessee. So it's not like Finland, which is a, you know, mecca for all things Funeral Doom. And if I were, like, it's on Profound Lore, so they're well established and have sort of a vehicle to push them. You know, Evoken has been around for a while now, and I'm really excited because I think they share that sort of echelon when I think of like the more important, top tier, bigger name Funeral Doom acts coming out of America. Like, Evoken's the first one that comes to mind. Who's number 2 on your list? That's an open question. But for me, the next one that I pulled that I like, if I heard they were coming out with a new release, like, stop whatever you're doing, I'm on that pre-order. Loss is in that. After this release, I have that kind of passion towards their project and excitement in terms of what's coming in the future for them. I don't know, you know, how long Evoken will come around, and they have different sounds, right? Like this, they aren't quite as matured yet. There's like violins and strings on those Evoken records. They're doing a different kind of melodic sort of approach, where this is sort of this black tinges or small black elements that are incorporated at times, make this a bit more unique by comparison. But still, top tier, like phenomenal Funeral Doom record. This doesn't ever, like, there are some Funeral Doom records that are like never get old for me, like Ahab, you know, Spawn of the Wretched Sea, like, or Call of the Wretched Sea, Spawn of the Wretched Sea, Call of the Wretched. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. 2006. I always get that mixed up. But like, that record never gets old, and the more time I spend with Horizonless, I have the same kind of like pull, or I'm developing a relationship with this record where I can imagine, you know, it's been since The Wretched Sea from Ahab, that's 2006, so we're looking at 15 years, you know. I can imagine in 15 years I'll still pull this off the shelf with a degree of, you know, anticipation and without, you know, any kind of like letdown. I can imagine it'll still be there for me in the years to come. And I don't know how long it takes to determine a classic, but I'm willing to bet this will be considered in the future deserving of that kind of praise. So, Lost, Horizonless, Profound Lore Records, 2017. Super cool. I'll just quickly, this is just on black, whatever, so nothing too special, but I'm trying to get better with that. Anyway, there's the Just some ravens on the back, but that front cover, like, eat your heart out, Marius Lewandowski. So cool. Okay, that does it for this. That is number 5. We've got 3 more to go for the day, and I'll see you guys here soon enough. All right, bye.